What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Lions video. Now, over the past week or so, we have gone over every member of the Detroit Lions 2021 draft class, with the exception of one, with the exception of the 257th pick in the NFL draft, where the Detroit Lions went running back as they selected Jermar Jefferson, running back from Oregon State. Now, in today's video, as we've done the past six prospect, we're going to be going over Jermar Jefferson, his strengths, his weaknesses, why the Lions drafted him, the role he could see as a rookie, as well as just everything you need to know about our newest running back. But before we get into analyzing and going into a deep breakdown of Jermar Jefferson, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes 2 seconds out of your day to do so. It's quick, free, and easy, and you'd be helping the channel out more than you could possibly know. So if you could do that, take those 2 seconds to like and subscribe. I'd be greatly appreciative for it. But with all that being said, and without any further ado, let's get into Jermar Jefferson, the running back out of Oregon State, selected with the 257th pick. Now, Jefferson stands at 5'10", 206 pounds, which is a little bit undersized for a running back. However, it is far from a death sentence. It's far from anything to be concerned about. We've seen several running backs over the years, 5'10", and even shorter than that, have very successful NFL careers. Now, Jermar Jefferson did end up playing 27 games for the Oregon State Beavers, where he had 514 carries for 2,923 yards, 27 touchdowns to go along with 43 receptions for 299 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Now, in 2020, he did only play in 6 games for the Beavers. However, that is all of the football games they ended up playing. In those 6 games, he actually got 133 carries, which he did turn into 858 yards and 7 touchdowns, while averaging 6.5 yards per carry on the season. Now, Jefferson ended up finishing his career very strongly with the Oregon State Beavers, as well as starting his career incredibly strong. He was the Pac-12 Offensive Freshman of the Year in 2018 and was actually a member of the first-team All-Pac-12 team in 2020. Now, along with that, he was on the watch list for both the Maxwell and the Doak Walker Awards. So, I mean, he finished his career very strong with the Beavers and has been arguably one of the most underrated running backs in college football over the past 3 seasons. Now, his testing numbers were very poor. I'm not going to lie, his RAS score was like 2 point something. It was not very good. However, that's not necessarily the player I see on tape, and I don't think his testing numbers match what you're going to see on film and what you're going to see on the field. Now, it was said that Jermar Jefferson ran a 4.55 40-yard dash, but however, to me, he seems much faster on the field. There were several opportunities, several moments in games, especially the Oregon game, where he would take an angle of a defender and make it look silly. Like, he would outrun defenders. He'd run multiple foot races over and over and over again. Now, I don't know if that's because the Oregon defense is incredibly slow, or because just maybe he's faster in games. Maybe he just plays better in games and is just a little bit faster. He looks like he has a little bit of a longer stride. He looks not that fast, to be honest, but as I said, he continuously wins foot races to the end zone. So at some point, you just got to look at him and say, he doesn't look fast, but he plays faster than he looks. And I think that's the exact kind of player that Jermar Jefferson is. Now, the one thing I will say about Jermar Jefferson that stuck out to me immediately is he does have really, really good contact balance. I mean, there were several times, and I watched tape, I watched highlights, of course. I know obviously highlights aren't all I watch, but in his highlights especially, you see it where the first guy will hit him and he'll bounce right off, or where he'll be in the hole, and a linebacker will try to meet him and he'll bounce right off the linebacker, or his 82-yard run against Oregon that went for an 82-yard touchdown. I mean, he bounced off 2 or 3 players after, and bounced off that initial contact and then took it 82 yards to the house, which again shows his contact balance, but also shows his ability to score long touchdowns. So with that being said, I don't think he should have been a 7th round pick. I think Jermar Jefferson probably should have gone, likely day 3 still, but I think he probably should have gone round 5, round 6. I don't think he should have been the 3rd to last player drafted in the NFL draft, because there's no way there are 257 players that are better than Jermar Jefferson in this class. Now, running back, of course, was not the biggest need for the Detroit Lions, but when the board is sitting there and Jermar Jefferson, the best player available, is screaming at you, he's right in your face, and that name is just sticking there, and he's like, well, we have 1 pick left, 3rd to last pick in the draft, he's the best player available. At some point, if you're Brad Holmes, you just take the talent, you just take the ability, and you kind of give your coaches as many weapons, as many opportunities as possible to get the things right. Now, Jermar Jefferson, as I said, did finish his collegiate career incredibly strong. Did only play in 6 games his junior season. However, he only had 1 game in 2020 where he was under 100 yards. He absolutely tore up, absolutely dominated the Pac-12. Again, finishing with, first team all Pac-12 honors, and of course being up for the Maxwell and Doak Walker rewards respectively. Now, to me, I think this is really good running back depth for the Detroit Lions, and I don't think you're going to find a much better player with the 257th pick. No, he's a guy that, again, had 2,000 yards, had 1,000 yards his freshman year in college, is a guy that if the season was normal this year would have once again had 1,000 yards his collegiate year, would have had 1,000 plus yards again as a college athlete. He's an explosive running back. He's a guy that doesn't look like he'd be a big play threat, but all of a sudden, one play, he's going to break through and he's going to go for a 60, 82-yard touchdown. Like, he had multiple big time runs of 50, 60, 70, even 80-plus yard touchdowns. He had multiple games like that where he would break off a huge run out of nowhere, which of course helped with his yards per carry, but even on the runs where he didn't break off for an 80-yard touchdown, he was incredibly productive. Again, great contact balance. The first guy very rarely tackles him, and when he does, it's always him falling forward. If he does get tackled by the first guy, or if one guy does end up bringing him down, it's always Jermar Jefferson pushing him forward and falling forward for a play. Very rarely did I see Jermar Jefferson get a negative play, and even when he was met at the line, he always fell forward for a yard, which again, very, very good skill to have for the Detroit Lions, and a very good skill to have as a NFL running back. I don't really have a player comp for him necessarily. There was not really a guy that I saw that really stuck out to me and I was like, that is Jermar Johnson. He's a very unique prospect. He's a very unique guy, a guy that I couldn't really find a great comp for, but a guy that I think has a lot of good skills to bring it to this Detroit Lions team. Again, as I said, great contact balance, has some kind of sneaky fast. He's really quick, has good burst off the line immediately. He's almost Kerryon Johnson if Kerryon Johnson was a little bit faster. And, I think that's almost a decent comp for him right there, is Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson is quick. Kerryon Johnson is not necessarily the fastest guy. He has pretty good contact balance. He kind of does remind me of Kerryon Johnson a little bit if Kerryon had the speed to go a little bit further on each and every given run. Now, I will say that Jermar Jefferson is not quite the pass blocker, not quite the pass protector that Kerryon Johnson is, but I think as far as running the ball and when the ball is in their hands, they are relatively similar, although Jermar Johnson does stay healthier than what we've seen with Kerryon Johnson the past couple of seasons. With that being said, with the Detroit Lions getting a solid, productive NFL player with the 3rd to last pick in the draft, I'm going to give it a B. I don't think there was anything outstanding about this pick. I don't think there was anything super special about this pickup, but I think he's going to be a guy that you could see get a couple of carries a game, a guy that could pop off for a big run here and there. I don't think he's going to be crazy. I don't think he's going to be the biggest impact player in the world, and I would be surprised if he got more than 50 carries in a season. But with that being said, the Lions did need running back depth. Right now, before the NFL draft, they only had 3 running backs on the roster. It was expected for them to address it. Now they have that running back 4. They have that running back 5 in Rakeem Boyd. They're going to battle it out, and I think both of them have an opportunity to make the team. So with that being said, with there being good value on the board, with there being a good talent, with there not really being a whole lot wrong with the pick, and just getting a very productive productive and good player at the 257th spot. I gave the pick a B. Again, nothing special about the pick, but nothing bad about the pick either. So with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. That was the entire Detroit Lions draft class. Over the past week, we have gone through the entirety of the class. At the beginning of the week, we went over an entire draft recap. I gave the entire draft an A. Overall, I thought Brad Holmes killed it. The Lions had a phenomenal draft, and Jermar Jefferson was really just the cherry on top to end off this phenomenal draft season by Brad Holmes and the Lions. But with all that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think about Jermar Jefferson. Let me know what you think about the running back down in the comments below. Did you like the pick? Did you not like the pick? If you didn't like the pick, who would you have liked to see us address instead? And of course, how good do you think Jermar Jefferson will be at the next level? Let me know down in the comments below what you think about the pick. But with all that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video. And until next time, and as always, go Lions.